Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So I'm testing my luck a little bit as I am out in the wind, but I wanted to show all three of the rigs while they're here together. You guys know I'm likely going to be parting ways with a 4Runner soonish, so this sight with all three of them together is going to be perhaps short-lived after all. So, of course, if you are a frequent visitor of the channel, you know what you're looking at already, but for those of you who are visiting for the first time, we have a 2023 Toyota Sienna CSE 25th anniversary edition over here. This is the newest to the fleet. And in the middle, we have a Voodoo Blue 2019 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Absolutely am obsessed with that color. Kind of upset that we got to part with it, but I'm parting with it because I got this guy. We got the 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser Heritage Edition here in Midnight Black Metallic. So absolutely love it. By the way, this is Celestial Silver, by the way. Absolutely love each of these for their own reasons, right? So each of them are special in their unique way. Obviously, the Land Cruiser and the 4Runner share the most commonalities between the group here, but they all are very neat in their own unique way. So this is definitely the overbuilt brute of the group, built for 25 years plus with minimal maintenance. With that in mind, that idea. Both of these are built out of Japan still. The Sienna, I think the Sienna is built in Indiana. Gosh, actually don't quote me. I actually didn't double check before this video, but I think, so bottom line, in the United States, the Sienna is being built. The Sienna over there is vastly different. We have a 5.7 liter V8 in this, a very thirsty V8, 15 miles to the gallon on a good day, with an 8-speed automatic transmission, super buttery smooth to drive this. The 4Runner of the group feels the most raw, most visceral to drive out of all these, the most Toyota-esque, I would argue, is the 4Runner here, because it is pretty bare bones, and with it being a pre-2020 4Runner, it actually is even more bare bones on the inside, so less tech, and it was before that update that happened in 2020, of course. But you got that 4-liter V6 tied to the 5-speed automatic transmission, which has been around forever and a half, kind of like this, kind of like that, but even more so, and just feels more brutish to drive. So not as overbuilt. So if you were to look underneath both of these right here, you would see, you know, all the components underneath the Land Cruiser are just bigger, they're thicker, and they're built with that 25 years in mind, with it lasting that whole time without too much issue for you. So kind of give you a close-up look at each of them, and I'll look on the inside of each of them too, to kind of give you an idea of just how vastly different they are too. The 4Runner here, I don't know, I think this is, some of you guys might beat me up on this, but I would almost argue this is the most iconic of the group here, especially being in the Voodoo Blue. You know, the 5th generation 4Runner will go down in history, mark my words, as a timeless design vehicle and a very iconic platform. Super reliable. It's not uncommon for these to get 250,000 miles without too much issue with them, and just really be super capable. I mean, they're, maybe depending who you talk to, I mean, they're just as capable as the Land Cruiser in 9 out of 10 situations, right? And it's a little bit smaller too, so a little bit better for the trail riding, perhaps. So definitely my heart has always been set on the 4Runner throughout the years. You guys know I've always kind of come back to it. The Sienna here was us kind of testing our luck a little bit. Not testing our luck, but just kind of branching out rather. I had never had a minivan before. I've never really gravitated to hybrids. I've owned them before. I've owned the 2023 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro, the 2023 Tundra TRD Pro, which has the iForce Max hybrid combination there, which is a phenomenal performer. Oh, we got a puppy dog feature. Puppy dog feature. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud. Hi, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. All right, good boy. You're a good boy. All right. So I've never really gravitated to hybrids before, although they perform exceptionally well, at least with the Sequoia and Tundra TRD Pro, the new generation. Something just felt off. It felt maybe a little synthetic. I'm not sure what it was. I never loved the fact that, you know, it always took a second or two to start up, because the EV portion of the hybrid portion would fire up first before the actual motor. It never felt right, especially on a truck and SUV platform. With the hybrid minivan here, this feels more right, and I'm not bothered by it at all. Not to mention, I'm definitely not bothered by the 36 miles to the gallon, whereas still in the Tundra and Sequoia TRD Pro, you're still sporting 17 to 20 miles to the gallon. Granted, to be fair, the Sequoia and Tundra iForce Max hybrid platform wasn't built for economy, but rather performance. So let me make that clear. Let me show you the wheels. Even though they're plastic wheel caps or wheel covers, they still look pretty sweet. I love them. I love the swooping body line of the Sienna here. I think this is awesome, and it really sets it apart from the Honda Odyssey, in my opinion. I'm sorry guys, hopefully the wind isn't too obnoxious in this video. It is kicking up. Love the taillights of this. I can see why maybe someone would think that's a little gaudy, because it is huge, but you're making a statement. It looks pretty awesome. Love the blacked out accents of the 25th anniversary edition here with the blue inlay of the logo, the emblem there indicating it's a hybrid, of course. Back up here, give you a side profile of it. But just a sleek van. And I feel weird saying that about a minivan, because I never thought I'd be the type, but it really is. I don't know, when you drive one, I think you'll really appreciate it, just how comfortable they are. Super easy to drive, they're seamless, excellent turning radius, you notice that right off the bat. I've not met a single person who has purchased a Sienna and has been disappointed with it. The only gripe that I actually have heard is it is a little loud. So when the power plant, the 4-cylinder is actually firing up and you're actually on throttle, it is pretty loud. But the majority of the time, it is super quiet. So I think the trade-offs are certainly worthwhile, or outweigh, I should say. I think the front end looks incredible too. Again, just so much more sporty and modern than that Honda Odyssey, I would argue. And you guys know the Honda Odyssey still is sporting that V6, naturally aspirated V6 platform. That gets around 22 miles to the gallon, a little bit more. I love the bronze BBS wheels that we get on the Heritage Edition. This is one of my favorite parts of the Heritage here. With the other being this right here. So get the classic Land Cruiser badge back here with the classic Toyota script. I love that. Of course, the Heritage Edition does have the Yakima Mega Warrior roof basket, which technically anybody could buy that for 500 bucks through Yakima. But this right here, this is really what makes this particular vehicle the exact polar opposite of that vehicle right there, right? This is perhaps the last, similar to the 4Runner, but the last V8 that we'll ever see within I don't want to say within the Toyota lineup, but for sure in the Land Cruiser, last V8 we're not going to see it ever again on the 4Runner likely. So the fact that it has it really is going to make it special and continue to be special for years to come, in my opinion. Now when it comes to the interiors, the Land Cruiser here is kind of neck and neck with the 4Runner when it comes to just how old and antiquated it feels on the inside. But everything to the touch, I've said this in my previous videos, but everything to the touch in here is super premium and super plush. Although it doesn't look the part, when you look at it, you're like, okay, cool, whatever. But when you're actually sitting in it, everything feels hefty, everything feels sturdy and extremely well built. I've made the analogy before, and many people have, but it really is like driving a bank vault. It's such a grounded vehicle, and you have full confidence driving in any kind of inclement weather. Always remember thinking that this was pretty silly. Having this wood trim in here, it kind of dated it for sure when I first saw it. Even up on the steering wheel. And, well, I'll let you guess which one of these keys belong to, if I can actually put them out, which one of these belongs to the Land Cruiser here. So this guy right here, Land Cruiser on the back, this is, let me fire it up for fun. Do have a grab handle over here, which is nice. Push to start. Nice little startup sequence there in the middle. high resolution center stack. So just under 2,000 miles now, and low tire pressure. The cold weather kind of brought them down. So this right here is perhaps my least favorite part of the Land Cruiser. It's just a very old system, and it takes a lot of, I don't know, it's an involved system. So when you're adjusting the climate, yes, you got to get into the system, adjust the different types. It has flickering a lot for you guys to know, but it just takes a lot more involvement. Whereas with the 4Runner and the Sienna, but more so the 4Runner, it is literally just two giant knobs right here that you're tinkering with to adjust your climate. So I prefer that, and that 4Runner feels a lot more Toyota-esque compared to this. But you can't deny just the sheer build quality of the Land Cruiser. And if you've owned one before, if you've driven one before, you know what I'm talking about. Black headliner, sunroof, standard sunroof, but excellent visibility all throughout. And that is one of the largest perks of buying the Land Cruiser. Lots of headroom too. This large front windshield is enormous, even compared to the 2023 Toyota Sienna TRD Pro that I had. You would think they'd be on par, but this is noticeably larger. And your sunroof controls up there. Turn it off. Your JBL sound system and your Land Cruiser middle entry point there, and it lights up when you turn it on. We'll show you for fun the back seat real quick. It's probably the cleanest it'll ever be right here. Got two of the car seats in here. We'll put baby right here. And out back, so this is the way we have it set up right now. Love the split tailgate here. They do not have that on the 300 series Land Cruiser, so this is always going to be pretty special for the 200. And I mentioned it before, and even when I mentioned it in my last video, a few more people actually came in on the comments and reiterated my point. Because a couple of people who live overseas, in the Middle East in particular, they've mentioned like, hey, the 200 series over here with the V8 in particular is going for more money than the 300 series. The brand new 300 series cost less than the older 200 series, which is kind of wild. But this might be a small piece of the equation, but of course, the platform and the power plant of the 300 series is a little bit different. So love this, love the tailgate. So pretty cool, and this is how we have it set up right now with my oldest sitting back here. It is kind of a bummer because we do have her pop up in the back here when we load up, so not ideal to undo your back hatch to get your kiddos in there, but it works. Whereas, you know, this is my first third row Land Cruiser that I've ever had, so this is my first time actually being able to actually do this with a family of 6 now. Alright, let's look at the 4Runner now. Voodoo Blue, this is what makes it special. This is what makes it, I don't know, super appealing to me, because you guys know I've owned newer ones in this. I've owned a Lunar Rock 4Runner TRD Pro. I've owned an Army Green one before, Lime Rush. I think that might be it. Oh, and you know, Super White and one of these before as well. So I mean, it's been a few. I always kind of come back. Oh, we got a buggy feature. We got a buggy feature. Wait a minute. Excuse me, a Mr. Incredible feature. Hey, bud, what are you doing? Bye-bye. Bye-bye? Okay. I like your costume. All right. Well, there you have it. So all that to say, I always kind of come back to the 5th generation 4Runner because I don't know, I absolutely love this platform, and I absolutely love the fact that it's still built in Japan, and I like the price point a lot better than this. It's always been easier to justify than buying, you know, the $90,000 plus Land Cruiser, now over that, over 100 now. Whereas these, you know, being able to get them at $50,000, $52,000, $56,000 at MSRP, if you can find it at MSRP, that was more ideal. Voodoo Blue has always been my favorite color. It's just pops. Although, to be fair, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is overkill. And here I am. I'm obsessed with it now. So our opinions and perspectives change, people. Gotta embrace it. So I'll pop in here. I don't need to do the the key test with you guys on this one. You know which one it is. So we got the turn key for this guy. All right, well, probably sensing a theme with the tire pressure light. Need to up the pressure a bit now that we're kind of getting through winter. But look at this. This is extremely bare bones, kind of sad looking to some people, but if you're a Toyota fan, you really would appreciate this kind of stuff. And a part of me has always appreciated my 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, my cement gray one that I had once upon a time. I even appreciated that over my newer ones that I've had since then. So same goes for the 4Runner here. Love the simplicity of the climate control. Look at this. You know, you pick your mode down here, AC on or off, of course. You gotta have the fan going. And then, of course, your temperature over here. So super, super simple. And of course, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are not a thing in this, given the fact that it is the older system here. But very simple. You can't mess it up, and I appreciate it. The giant volume knob up here, which is great. The tune scroll and seek, blah, 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 blah. This is the only part that I did not like compared to, let me get the light up, there you go, compared to the 2020 and up, the refresh. The refresh has a nice, clear, higher resolution center stack, and they updated the gauges just a little bit in a very tasteful fashion. So that is something I prefer, although, you know, this, you know, it's on par. I mainly got this due to the color. 2019 was the only year that they offered Voodoo Blue on the 4Runner, and it was only on the TRD Pro. So very special, and you guys know the mileage is pretty low on it, under 10,000 still. So that is the goodness of this. All of your seat heaters here, I always say heat seaters, but your seat heaters are right here. And then your rear window, that is a party trick, something that Land Cruiser does not have, but it does share this with the Tundra, having the ability to up and down that rear window there, which is great for the pups. They love that, sticking their head out the window back there. So love that. You do have your off-roading controls up here. You can see your rear center diff lock right here, A-track traction control, and your multi-terrain selection and your crawl control with various different speeds. So an excellent system. I've got very well acquainted with this system throughout my couple of trips out to the northern Georgia mountains with Toyota, driving around some pressed vehicles up there. So love putting this to use. It really is an incredible system. So other than that, you have the TRD stitched up here, Softex leather, Softex material here, which I actually really like this, because look at some super old and used 4Runners. Well, I shouldn't say super old, but like look at a 2015 4Runner TRD Pro, and it has 125,000 miles on it, whatever. And you look at the seats, they look dang near new. So they hold up over time very well, and they take the abuse extremely well, in my opinion. All right, let's pop over. Save the best for last. Not quite. That's the best. Let's go look at the Sienna. Gosh. Moved to Wyoming, they said. One more look on the outside. Got the blue up here as well. Those headlights are just sweet. I love it. All right. Let's start in the back. This has been incredible, guys. So, like small stuff like this. Look at this. So you got even the tiny people can pull up right here. They have really thought of everything, and it seems like every day we are noticing something new on here that that Toyota thought about, they've considered. So it's already kind of a mess, but that's what we bought this for. We bought this to be the messy vehicle, to be the family hauler, and the comfortable vehicle that we take on road trips or wherever we go. We can do this with good peace of mind. The entertainment screen right here, you can connect to it wirelessly with your phone or whatever. And I've got a couple cup holders underneath the jackets down here, and your chargers, of course. This right here, I always kind of called it like a purse holder or a bag holder, but I think it actually is for the headphones that come with this, so you can integrate and sync to the system here. I'm pretty sure you put your headphones there. Already showed you that. Love the back end. Get a little close. Let's see. How about that? Here's our back end. Not huge. I don't want to oversell it here, but it is substantially better than the Sequoia TRD Pro, guys. It really is. So, not just because it's a little bit deeper, or yeah, a little bit wider, but also deeper. You got about additional 4 to 5 inches deep in here to include these deep sides here for cargo as well. So, very impressed with this. It is sufficient. There's one of our strollers right there, and it's kind of a big stroller when you unfold it. So with the top part down here. So this works. It works. You have the receiving clips on each of, including the middle underneath here, and on the back as well. So that is perfect. JBL speaker out back. Love it. Close that. Look from the other side. Love the adjustability of these seats. It is incredible. So obviously this is for the ottoman to kick in and out. Not using that so much right now, but this slider here, we're talking like 3, maybe 4 feet, probably just over 3 feet here of rolling distance. Let me show you if I can. There you go. So kind of cool. So much adjustability to that. I love it. And the kiddos can walk through the center here with their armrest up or down too. So love this. Love how convenient it is for the pups, for the kiddos. Not for the pups, but for the kiddos. Kind of a look on the passenger side. We do have a little cargo, a little cubby space all the way across here, which is pretty nice. I don't really know what to make of this material. I don't know. It's kind of like I don't even know how to describe that, to be honest with you. It's just I don't know. Kind of like they're trying to make it a wood grain, but just with lines in it. Obviously a shiny gray material. Kind of unique. Then down there we have the headphones that come with it as well. So really nice, very deep dash here. It goes probably 2 feet deep up to the windshield there. Nice stitching. Seats are unique to the 25th anniversary edition with the stitching, of course. And there's your 25th anniversary floor mats with your illuminated Sienna script on the way in. Let's hop in the driver's seat and fire it up. All right. One thing that's kind of cool is you get a little swanky little key holder for the 25th anniversary edition here. Kind of cool that you can open and close. Speaking of which, I left that open, so let's, how about that? It's a weird dad flex, but pretty cool that we can do that. Obviously the rear hatch as well. Love it. But we also get the controls up here for the doors, which is perfect for dropping the kiddos off. I know I keep referencing that, but that, you know, our kids are a huge part of our lives. So all these convenience factors really just kind of make me wonder why it took us so long to finally get a minivan. There's a push to start. Kind of a cool color. Like a heritage blue. Push button there. Nice high resolution center stack. Oh, don't mind me to close the other one. It's a nice high resolution center stack. Unique gauge over here, right? You don't have RPM. You have the charging, or like for the actual battery pack down below. Eco, that's when you're kind of using a combination of the battery as well as the motor. Then full up motor for power when you're on throttle up top here. So when you are on throttle, it is a little loud. The 4-cylinder does get a little loud in here, but such a small complaint, I think. So great resolution. Sorry, the sun is right there. Great resolution here for this system. No gripes whatsoever. Very responsive, quick. And you know, you got the giant volume knobs over here and a scroll tuner over there. This is still pretty intuitive. Doesn't take too much thought to adjust everything. So you got your temperature over here if you want to sync it. Now we're synced on both sides. If you want to adjust the rear, now we can adjust the rear fan speed and temperature back there. Heated and cooled seats. That is a difference. I think that's important to note. A difference for the 25th anniversary edition. The standard XSE does not have heated and cooled seats, but it being the 25th, you do get that. So just a small difference there. Love the fact that we have a giant cubby space down there. We often just forget about it, so we never really use it so far because we forget that it's down there. Plenty of cup holders, which is a must if you're about that mom or dad life. Your EV and your different drive modes, sport, economy, and of course normal driving mode can be adjusted here with your electronic parking brake. Give you an idea of what that resolution is where I slam back into the garage. But kind of an idea. It's not the best resolution for that camera. Give it a B-. More of that space. I'll show you from this side. Semi-large, maybe medium size glove box here. But yeah, so there you have it. Dark headliner throughout, standard sunroof. We love this thing, and I'm shocked that we have not gotten a minivan sooner than now, guys. So absolutely love it. Kind of give you a glimpse of the different controls on the steering wheel here. Very comfortable, perforated leather all throughout. So I'm gonna wrap up the video there, guys. I have made this perhaps one of my longest videos, but it's kind of hard to make a short video when you got 3 really cool vehicles to geek out with you guys for. So there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you watching as always, and appreciate your support. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Till next time.